Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you guys are new here, and today I'm actually standing in my daughter Elena's room. I have a almost 2-year-old daughter named Elena, and I'm going to be taking you guys through what it looks like to rotate out her toys. Every single week or every 2 weeks or so, we do a toy rotation in her room. We do not currently have a playroom. We have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, and so we don't have the ability to have a playroom. So we've kind of created a little spot in her room for her toys. So if you've never heard of a toy rotation, the idea is basically that instead of giving your child all of the toys that they own at one time and having them out all the time, you select a few toys that they can keep out for a week or two. That kind of makes it a little bit easier for them to focus on the toys themselves so they actually play with them. One of the big things I've noticed with my daughter is if I give her way too many options, she's going to be super overwhelmed, and I've noticed that she gets really destructive and doesn't actually sit down to play with a toy. Instead, she'll go from toy to toy to toy to toy within a minute, and just kind of like mess with it and then move on, because their brains are so underdeveloped that they really don't need that many options. It becomes way overstimulating for them to have to choose what toy to play with out of like 30 toys that are out. So we actually just choose around 8 to 10 toys. I don't ever have a super specific number that I provide, but we have pretty much 95% of the toys or 85% of her toys that she owns in these really large containers, which I'll show you guys on the screen here. It's not the best way to store them. I wish we had a bigger closet to nicely organize them, but for right now, we're just keeping them in these really large tubs. That way she doesn't play with all of them at once, and that way I can rotate them out as I feel like it's needed to rotate her toys. One of the great things about toy rotations is that if your child starts to get bored, or you notice that they're starting to lose a lot of interest in their toys like they usually would if they had 30 toys out at once, they're gonna get bored, they'll start getting into stuff. The great thing that you can do is say, okay, it's time for a toy rotation. I've noticed that you're starting to get destructive. I've noticed that you're starting to lose interest in these toys and you're kind of getting into more mischief. Now it's time to rotate. So at that point, you can take out all of the toys in that rotation and you can bring in new toys. You do not have to go buy all new toys for every rotation. Instead, have a selection of toys. You know, you might buy a new toy here and there for birthdays and things like that. But the idea is that if your child doesn't see some of the toys they already own for 1 to 2 weeks, when you bring those items back out, it's like Christmas morning again. It's really exciting. They haven't seen it in a while, and it's pretty much just like they got a new toy because they haven't seen it in a couple of weeks. So it's amazing. I love toy rotations. They have saved our sanity in this house. So I will say that we do follow a very loosely a Montessori style of play. I have these cubby shelves here in her room that I'm going to show you guys here in just a minute, and every single item has its own little spot. This helps her to focus on the toy, to bring out only that toy at a time and to do whatever it is that she wants to do with it. I like the toys to be open-ended. That way, you know, there's not just one thing she can do with it. Blocks, for one thing, she could match the colors of the different blocks that we have, or she can count them, or she can stack them, or she can, whatever she wants to do with them. I love having, you know, like animal figures. She's super creative with those. So you will not be seeing any electronic toys in this toy rotation. We do give her some every now and then, just, you know, for fun. But for the majority of her toys, we like to keep them very like open-ended and, you know, creative things that she can do. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I start to do a toy rotation, kind of my process and how I do that. And I'll let you guys also see where I store the toys and what it looks like when we're done. She's actually at school right now, so it's probably one of my favorite things is when she comes home from school, or she'll come home from a grandparent's house. I have her room all clean and a brand new toy rotation. It's almost like Christmas morning every week or two, because the look on her face is so excited when she notices what's new in her room. So let's go ahead and take a look at what is already in her toy rotation, and it has been for the last 2 weeks. And then I'm going to show you guys how I switch everything out and kind of like my thought process. Okay, so this is the current setup of her little corner in her room. I will show you guys kind of where I have this located. It's to the right of her bed. We have this little nook that I was able to make a spot for. We really don't have a lot of room in this house for a like playroom. We originally had one in Isley's room, but you know, Isley came along and she now has her own bedroom. So we had to improvise and use this little spot. So I got this little white cube organizer from Target. I really wanted to have the 8 cube one, but we don't have the room in this house right now. Maybe later on down the road, we'll actually get a playroom when we move one day. So this is what it looks like right now. I'll show you a little bit of what we already have out. I apologize for the lighting, but this is the first little cube that we have. I have this from KiwiCo. It's a subscription service. It's basically these little pegs, and it comes with these little wooden circles, and what she does is she likes to go through and match them. Right now it's a mess, but she'll go through and actually match these. They also have these. She can be creative. She can stack these. She can do whatever she wants with them. They're open-ended and wooden. I also like to do, when I do toy rotations, if a toy has any sort of pieces, I will put it in a container and deconstruct it for her so that she can do what she wants with it instead of it already being done for her. Over here on this side, I have this little activity. It's a beehive with some little bees and a clamp, so she can learn a fine motor skill of pinching these to get the bees and put them in the correct one. This one is still a struggle for her. She doesn't really know how to use the little clip thing. She tries. Most of the time I just see her doing this. But we're working on the fine motor. So I like to have something that works on fine motor in her toy rotation, as well as color sorting. She pretty much has mastered her colors at this point, but she still is obsessed with doing it. So she'll actually put the bees just to match the color. Down here in this box, I just have some wooden blocks that she can actually take out, and I just have taught her to put the correct color on top of the block. She can also build whatever she wants with them. Those are from the Love Every Block set. Over here, we have kind of a real life skill, which is cutting. She has her cutting fruit. She has her cleaning set here. We have a puzzle that she can grab and get down, some mushy stacking cups. These are some little jars from Love Every, a bead maze. And then over here, I have a deconstructed puzzle for her to actually put the pieces together. The last thing she has in her toy rotation right now are these animals. And guys, these are her favorite toy. These are her favorite toys in the world. We have 2 dinosaurs that she's obsessed with, and then all of these are just animal figurines like Safari, Sea Life, Farm. She plays with these probably the most, and she'll bring these animals over here and like have them do stuff. And so that is what it looks like now. I am going to take everything out. We're going to set it aside. We're going to get a fresh slate, and then we're going to start bringing in the new toys for the new toy rotation.
You look at me like I'm crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different. Still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments. Doesn't mean I don't need you.
Alright guys, so this is the area behind me now. Everything is pretty much empty and ready for new toys to be brought in. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys with me to the toy bin. I'm going to show you all of the toys that I'm going to be picking out and kind of like my thought process that goes through my mind as I am trying to decide what to put out for the week.
I fell in love with your colors. They kind of tell me what I'm thinking. I fell in love with the way we are.
Alright guys, so as you can see, I have a huge tub behind me of all of her toys. This is pretty much the majority of the toys that we have for her. It's in one of these huge ones that I got from Home Depot. And I'm just going to go ahead and start sorting through the things that I want to put out for her. I will say whenever I am looking through her toys to decide what is going to be put into her toy rotation, I will consider the skills that she should be learning at the time, such as, you know, like stacking or identifying colors, letters, shapes, fine motor, counting, pretend play, any sort of variety that I can give her. That way it's not just like one type of thing. I don't want to put out too much of one thing for her to get bored. So that is one thing I keep in mind as I'm going through to sort to decide what it is I want to put out for her. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started digging through these. As I decide what items I want to put out, I'm going to just kind of lay them in the floor in front of me, and then I will move them and kind of show you guys an overview of what I am putting out for her, and then I'll show you guys where they're going to go in her cubbies.
You as you drive, do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here?
so this is the space, what it looks like when it's empty. We're going to go ahead and start filling everything into the empty cubbies. So I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward this part. I'm going to go ahead and start organizing everything, and then I'll explain everything once I'm done.
I don't think that I'm being that selfish right now. You said yourself you'd be breaking every vow. I can understand you're tired of this town, and I'm not saying that we have.
All right, guys, this is her finished product of everything that I'm going to put out. I may put a few things out on the top. I'm not really sure if I want to do that yet. Sometimes I'll put out like some little figures or something like that for her to play with. But overall, this spot is really small. I always struggle with trying to fit everything that I want to put. I'm not exactly happy with how this is kind of butting up to the other activity, but you just kind of have to work with what you got. This kind of shows that you don't have to have a playroom either. Over here is a puzzle and a basket of musical instruments. These are all like from Amazon, or some of these are from KiwiCo, a subscription service that we've done in the past. This one will help her with her fine motor skills, putting these spots together, matching, and also helps to recognize shapes. This first cubby here, I just have this little crate with all of these little fish. They have like these little magnetic pieces at the tips for her to fish with and get out of the holes. She can also match the colors, and we can also talk about the different letters since we're learning the alphabet right now. Over here, we have a pegboard. It's like foam. You can get these on Amazon. I love them. And it's like this little shape sorter thing where you can actually push these into the holes. So it's fine motor. She has to be able to put them into the hole and push them to get them to stay, matching the shapes. And then also you can actually stack them together by putting them into the holes. So she loves this one. She can grab it out, pull it out to the middle of her room, whatever she wants to do. Over here, I have her color bear sorting activity. I might end up just stacking these and she can undo them herself. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. But she can actually do several things with these. She can sort them by color. She can count them. She can stack the cups. She can do whatever she wants. These are also from Amazon. Over here, I have this little peg activity like I showed you earlier. You just like push down the little guy, whatever this thing is. It's wooden and it has a spring and it just like springs up. So she has to learn to use the little motion to get the spring to work. And then also she can match the colors as well. This is the area I was talking about that I don't love because there's just a lot going on, but I have all of her little puzzle pieces that she can put on there. That's probably the most challenging way to deconstruct it, but I could, if I really wanted to help her, by just putting one of each on there so that it's a little easier for her to understand where they go. Over here, I have a magnetic board. I think this is Melissa and Doug. Yes, it is Melissa and Doug. And she can just put these up on the board. She loves to just play with the magnets and have fun with the animals. And last but not least, I just have these little flashcards sitting here. These are by far my favorite flashcards. I will link them down below, but they are like a really large card, and so it has like the flashcard item on the front, and then it has like fun games on the back, like what color is this, or another one is the oranges, like which orange is the smallest. It might ask about colors and shapes, or how many of something, or what's the odd one out. So these cards are so fun, especially if your child is like 12 months or older. Those are amazing. All right, guys, that was everything for the toy rotation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that this shows you, number one, what a toy rotation is if you've never done it before. Yes, it does require a little bit of work every week, but it really does save your sanity and helps your child to be able to enjoy their toys a lot more than if they were to just have a ton out all at once. It kind of allows them to experience toys just a little bit at a time instead of always having the same ones out and getting bored of them too easily. I also hope that this shows you that you do not have to have a large, beautiful playroom in order to do toy rotations. I know a lot of other YouTube accounts will show a big playroom, and that does make it feel like, oh man, if I don't have a playroom, I can't really do it. That's not true. I have a very tiny space in my daughter's room that we have available for her to be able to have toys out as a rotation. and it works just fine. Sure, I would like it to be bigger. I would love to have a playroom, but even if you were to do this in your living room or, you know, a space where the family hangs out, you know, the kitchen area, the dining room, you know, it's okay if siblings share a room. It's perfectly fine to have their own just little cubby area that you could rotate out some toys. It does not have to be extravagant. It does not have to be expensive. All of the toys that I've purchased through here are mainly from Amazon, and they were like probably $20 or less. Some of them may be on the $30 range. If you are interested in going more high-end with your toys, which I do have several higher-end pieces, we love Every. We love all of their stuff. I also love KiwiCo, especially if you have a little baby. It's like Panda Crate, and they have different crates that you can get depending on your child's age, and it has a lot of awesome activities and toys that are open-ended. I also don't want to forget to mention that all of the toys that are shown in today's video that are in her toy rotation, I will try to have linked below. Now that everything's done, I also wanted to show you guys what Elena's reaction is whenever she gets home from school. I will insert that footage right here. Elena just discovered in her room all of her new toys that were set up. We just got home from school, didn't we? Wasn't able to film her actually seeing it because, you know, they were kind of whiny coming in, and it was really hard with both of them crying. So she just happened to realize what was over there after I changed her diaper. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please do not forget to subscribe and stick around if you are enjoying my content. Just recently, I did a nursery tour of my daughter Isley's room, and I have also done a video all about my postpartum depression and anxiety experience. If you guys are interested about that, I will link them above. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this content. It really does help out my videos. And again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.